This is Valanth League Division 2, Round 5, MadMen Freaks versus Otters. I am Vasu. I enjoyed my Mistos.
Hello.
How are we doing today?
I would say we are doing great.
Interesting matchup coming up, honestly. I'm very curious. We're 5 rounds into the group stage. I wonder how the teams have adapted themselves.
Yeah,
I don't know.
got no
Interesting
clue.
stuff coming up.
We'll have to see.
Seems we are having a bit of a technical difficulty.
Only slightly. Let me quickly
Looking at the lineup,
yeah.
let me see.
The cameras are slightly laggy, I would say. But we'll see if we can fix that.
In the meantime, looking at the players and their profiles, I don't see anything that's gonna shock me too much. I think
No.
I have not seen many games of the Otters at all, so I will not be able to tell you if they play sort of meta-adjacent compositions or if they play to their own styles. But I think the drafts will tell us everything that we need to know regarding Game 1. And once again, this is with fearless drafts, which means whichever champions are picked for the first game will not be able to be picked the other 2 games down the line. This will force the teams to be a bit more adaptable. Let's see what they can come up with.
I mean, I'm just really excited myself because I saw that their mid laner also play Lux. As a Lux player myself, I'm quite interesting to see what he will do this game, if he gets it, of course.
Thinking about Lux, then my thoughts on like slotting that champion into a composition is it can be difficult unless you actually draft your whole composition around it. Like if you have a Caitlyn and Lux love being on both on the same team. It's another reason why they also pair they pair really well in bot lane overall. But really, even when Lux is playing mid lane, Caitlyn and Lux are very good at sieging. Like they get leads fairly easily, and they are good at following up on that lead and creating more advantages for the team, like taking towers fast, creating no fly zones essentially. Like Caitlyn traps, Lucent singularity, like you can't really pass anywhere. You just lock down on objectives, lock down on turrets. You gain gold, you snowball a lead, and you just win the game from there.
The one thing I would say that you have to watch out with Lux is that you are not good at dealing with like true tanks. Stuff like the Ornn, the Mundo, the Cho'Gath. Those things you will definitely need the Caitlyn for.
Yeah. And as I was saying, you have to draft your composition around her pretty much. You either need something that gets people off of you or keeps people in place a lot. If you have tanks to deal with, you need a way to do that because, as you said very correctly, Lux cannot deal with them. Caitlyn, if she's strong enough, she can deal with them, but not that easily. But other than that, Ornn is actually excellent with them as well. He can both create a window for a disengage option with his ult, or just engage on his own, which having an engage option with these comps is also good, because sometimes you just need to pull the trigger, and that just helps in that regard.
As I am getting some information that the reason we haven't started the draft yet is because Goop is AFK. But besides that, it should be okay.
Alright, we just have to wait until he gets back so the draft can get started and we can enjoy the games.
The enemy team knows Goop well enough to say classic Goop, so don't think they're too upset.
Another champion that really comes to mind when you're playing Lux and Caitlyn and the such is Poppy, because one of the main ways to disrupt these compositions is just to hard engage on them. So, and Poppy will stop anyone that dashes in, obviously, with Steadfast Presence. She will lock people down with either Keeper's Verdict or Heroic Charge. Pretty much just like keep people down so the rest of the team can either disengage or just pin them down and just slay them on the spot. Other than that, I don't know. This is all me just theorizing. I don't know if the team plays around the Lux at all or not. It might just be a comfort pick. If the player can just get out of lane with Lux and have like 2 items.
Yep.
Well, Lux is particularly good at skirmishes, so whenever there's like small 3v3s happening in the jungle and river, if there's some sort of setup or just Lux catches someone with a Q or a good enough E that someone can follow up, pretty much guarantees a kill. Lux does a lot of damage. In mid game, she will pretty much one-shot anyone that gets caught unless they're like a true tank. She's basically a very strong laner overall.
Yeah, and also I would say that in general, I think Lux definitely needs the setup, as do a lot of the other champions, obviously. And classically, in professional play, we've not seen Lux succeed that much, so I am being informed that we are in draft, so I'll put us in there as well.
Okay, we already see some bans. I see the MadMen Freaks are choosing to ban a lot of junglers. We see Graves and Zhao.
Yep.
On the other side, we see the Aurelia ban from Nice Otters. Also a Lissandra ban, a mid-ban target. Since I see the chat is hyping up the matchup a lot, so it is interesting for me to see a mid lane ban in that regard.
Yeah. Also, I'm really curious, because Vasu, the last game you casted for MadMen Freaks, Mael played an incredible Aurelia. Do you think they'll get it again? Or will that just depend on the draft?
Again, Aurelia is more competitive. I think Aurelia is a lot better on red side. So because you know what you're picking yourself into. Like she's basically an R5 or an R30 champion.
We see a Aurelia ban from Nice Order anyway.
So yeah, the Aurelia was banned anyways, but it's
Zilean lock-in. Now yes. I've heard that basically on every MadMen team there is a Zilean fanatic. Because if
that's pretty interesting.
If your team doesn't end, Zilean is just a really good champion to have in your team. Yep. Varus, Lilia, pretty nice teamfight setup, I would say. Running people down.
Coming back to the Zileans for a little bit, yeah, and honestly, if you're proficient enough, you can just plant them in either top lane or mid lane, or obviously support as we see them more often. And you can just pair them with stuff like the Hecarim, for example, that I was about to suggest.
Yeah, I mean, classic pairing, no? The Hecarim, Zilean.
It's also really good if the Zilean is building AP, which you literally are delivering bombs. Like it's literally it's basically a Trojan horse. It's except being on fire. It's with a bomb on top of him. On the other side, Varus is just a decent blind pick. Lilia, I wouldn't call it a decent blind pick, but maybe it's comfort. She can get locked down very easily. If we see a Kai'Sa lock in here, I expect a Nautilus ban from Nice Otters. Not only is it a good pairing for Kai'Sa, it's really bad for Zilean to have to play against a Nautilus.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, this is a Zilean support.
It could be a Zilean top. We've seen it quite a bit in VL, to be honest. It neutralizes some of the top matchups where it can just survive, and you're allowed to skill often, I would say.
Okay, with this Thresh blind pick, I basically expect 2 support bans. Otherwise, like you're just in danger of having a very bad matchup against you here. Blitzcrank comes to mind, although I don't expect a ban because we see her top lane bans. Interestingly enough,
Cassante
from both
and
sides,
Fiora, Gwen,
and Gwen, like 4 top lane ban. Boom!
They're just gambling on the top lane matchup, which
this to me says that either MadMen Freaks are like bluffing, and this is Zilean top, or it's actually Zilean mid or support.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, tanks, you don't want to play against tanks as Zillion because you can't really do anything against them. On the other hand, you're allowed to skill, as we see in Mundo Pocket.
Ooh, no! If this is Zillion top, this is very bad news for
Yep.
MadMen Freaks.
Because
Not so much because he's a tank, but because like as
he
a
will take
juggernaut,
your tower.
he will take everything.
Zillion cannot do anything.
Zillion can clear the waves, obviously, but oh,
Yeah.
the trundle pick in as a reply is really good.
I don't think it's an SS, although it was briefly offered.
And there we see the Nautilus that I expected.
Yeah,
to ban, which
the
we did not
Nautilus.
see.
The pairing with the Kaisa.
It's
So-
also the ult just annihilates Lilia overall. It's really bad for her to play. If
So-
Nautilus has the death charge to it.
I'm really curious what they'll pick to round this team comp out. I would expect something that can pressure a bit more early game to tag along with the Hecarim in either mid or top.
No, I believe that the Sekrum needs to like chill out. I don't expect a lot of ganking going on unless it's pathing towards bot lane constantly and ganking on repeat.
Victor-
And yes,
Victor's
I mean
pretty
technically
nice.
we could still be Victor top lane.
I saw
into-
it being played yesterday, so not in VL, but
It's gonna be down to comfort, but
yeah, definitely.
I did expect some sort of like more beefy frontliner, because Hecarim most of the time just wants to build damage and do a lot of damage. So this is gonna be weird.
Brent lock in. That's Brent mid, I would assume.
It needs to be. There's like not really any other place for him to be unless we rotate this into a Varus mid lane and Brand bot lane mage type thing. I don't expect anything else. To be honest, he's not outranged by anything, so Brand has a good time.
Yeah.
Victor can be annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Overall, if I had to pick, I would favor the draft by Nice Arc Otters. It's rough though.
It
Also,
is
someone in chat
definitely
was
rough.
asking, it is Mael playing top lane here.
Yep, it is.
Um,
It is Mael playing top, Ollie playing bot. We had some confusion about it last time as well.
Overall, two very interesting drafts, but I don't like them. If like personally, I don't like them either of them that much. But if I had to favor one, it would probably be Nice Like Otters. I think theirs is actually just easier to play. Brand
Yeah.
is just fairly easy to play overall, and like just execution-wise, like you smash your buttons a little bit. In lane, you have a lot of free poke, even against something like the Victor that get out ranges. Also, the Mundo will have nothing to stop him, like actually nothing. The Kaisa will need to be fed. You will need to hyperpath bot lane as Hecarim in this game. Dungle Jiff needs to like buy a tent level 1 and like plant it down in the pixel brush on bot lane and just stand there. Like full clear, go there, gank. Full clear, then gank. Otherwise, it's gonna be hard. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I think, looking at the drafts.
I mean, this game it's a good 5 bans for top lane, and then 3 jungle bans, and then an ADC and a mid ban. So I would say we can definitely see where the focus is going to be this game for both teams, or at least where they might not want the focus to be, but it's definitely going a lot of bans there.
For example, we were talking about the Aurelia ban. Now that I think about it a little bit, looking at the drafts on Nice Arc Otters, if I'm picking Aurelia here as MadMen Freaks, I would actually be kind of happy. The only thing that's like screwing you over a lot is the Thresh, but with some proficiency, you can probably not get screwed over by him. So I can understand the ban. It's also a good matchup for the Aurelia into the Mundo. As soon as she gets the Blade of the Ruined King, she turns Mundo into Swiss cheese. I don't know if there's any purple cheese out there, but if there is, it would be Mundo.
Not in the Netherlands, at least, as far as I'm aware. There's probably still someone crazy enough to throw purple food dye into it, but we're not talking about that.
I mean, depending on the color, I think it would be fine-ish. Like I can understand. Like purple was often the color of luxury, so you know.
Might be, but we liked our carrot orange as well, so.
Fair enough. I'm very curious about the mid lane matchup overall. I would say that like it's a very nothing happens matchup. Then again, there's a Victor, so that's the...
Could still be something happens.
And there's like also a Hecarim and a Lilia. Like I don't think anything is happening in that matchup overall. Like they're both just gonna farm. It's just gonna be a test of who can farm better.
Yeah.
Brand has some options of like harassment and poke with like Wing the caster minions and then pressing conflagration and just spreading with the big AoE spread onto the Victor. There's gonna be a lot of poke coming from
It's going
there.
to be on the Victor to Q shield in time for the conflict.
For sure. Because if Brand wants to play that way, it needs to shove constantly. But then again, the gameplay for Brand mid lane overall is you should do what I mentioned for poke, and then get rid of the wave as fast as possible so you're not in danger, because obviously you are immobile. If you get caught by either a roaming Nautilus hook or a Hecarim with the charging in, like pushing you towards the Victor, you are gonna fall.
Also, if you cast your W, you are self-rooted for quite a while. That's a really nice poke opportunity for Victor with his E, especially once he gets the upgrade.
Yeah. Again, it's gonna come down to like, has Mimi and Chill played this matchup a lot? Has 905 like ever played this matchup at all?
You don't see it too often mid lane.
Yeah, and with that point of view in mind, I would say that this Mimi Shield has a slight advantage, due to the nature of like those champions, the playability of the champions usually.
Yeah.
As for bot lane, this will be interesting. Like Kai'Sa Nautilus is obviously a very famous pairing. There's a lot of Kai'Sa passive procs that Nautilus by himself can achieve. They have a very, essentially meaning that they have a very strong all-in combo. If they catch you, they will pop you very quickly. However, Varus has more range, is very strong on the early levels. The Thresh can very easily disrupt the Nautilus engage, and he can also engage on his on his own side. So I would favor nice Arc Otters in the bot lane, at least early on. It can be tricky, but it's gonna depend. And again, finally coming back to top lane, it's gonna be a nothing matchup. Mael needs to make sure they're not getting pushed in a lot. If they are, they will fall.
I mean, if everybody is as chronically online as we are, they've definitely seen the Alois shorts with the push.
For sure. But
especially early on, if Zilean cannot clear waves well, we could see some of that.
Yeah, I mean, overall, the Zilean can always clear faster than the Mundo the waves, so I don't think there's gonna be that big of an issue in that regard. It's just a matter of can the Zilean actually pick up a good amount of CS overall. It's gonna be the play here for the side of Nice Otters is to siege the amount of gold that the Zilean can get while doing a push maneuver as Mundo here. Usually that the build does. Usually his build does not involve Hullbreaker. If it did, it would make Zilean's life a lot harder. He would not be able to clear the cannon minion that easily, and Mundo would just go there and and smash this face onto the tower. It would be fun if he had the skin, you know, I forget the name actually.
Currently, our in-game.
Regardless, we are into the game. This is MadMen Freaks versus Nice Otters. In the top lane we have Mael as Zilean, Dungle Jiff as Hecarim, 905 Victor, Shenzhen playing the Kai'Sa, and Aldi playing the Nautilus. And on the red side, the Nice Otters. We have Branu playing Mundo in the top lane, Beyond Sky on the Lilia. Oh, we see some poke there. Meat Shield on the Brand, and Lost in Army on the Varus, and X-Drenzer on the Thresh. I wonder if that's a Beyblade reference. Now that I think about it, now that I read the name,
might be.
I wonder if that was. Oh, it is the skin. It is the Mundo skin. It is the push skin. That's really.
It is.
I'll comment on the runes finally, and then I'll leave you to it. I'm so sorry, Mr. I see a USP on the Zilean. I would say like this is fine. Zilean has like all the options you can get. Phase Rush is pretty common on the Hecarim. Aerie is pretty common on the Victor. I don't know if it's gonna be really good into Brand. I would have taken Revitalize over Bone Plating, but that's fine. Mundo is standard. Lily looks standard. I'm surprised not to see Presence of Mind on Mimi Meat Shield, but other than that is it's pretty standard. Gathering Storm, which is kind of cool to see. I like that.
Yeah, I do. Also.
Standard on the Vara, standard on the Kaisa, and then pretty much standard on Nautilus and Thresh.
As we do see, one of the few matchups where Mundo can take approach velocity instead of the biscuits without slowing down his first item. Generally, on Mundo, you take biscuits so you don't get poked out of lane as fast and you can farm up. Mundo spikes super hard on his first item.
To be honest, approach velocity is fairly standard, particularly in ranged matchups, because if you land a Q, you can just very quickly get onto the person's face with the see an exchange. And as I said, like, look at this, like, this is gonna force a flash.
Exhaust is and cleanse used.
Cleanse by Shenzhen, and yeah. Varus early game, lethal tempo as well, and the Thresh landing a hook onto the Nautilus. This is dreadful.
As we see the brand indeed being poked out slowly in this matchup. Taking tower shots for trade.
I mean, Scorch and Airy is gonna do a lot of poke. You're gonna have to be very careful. It's the one thing, like this. These early levels are very annoying for Brand. When you get to level 5, you pretty much just clear the wave with no issue at all. So, see how this goes. Okay, Mael going for the guaranteed slow bomb with the slow. It's pretty good. Doesn't get the stun, but still gets some poking, which is pretty nice.
Early on for Mundo, it's not worth tanking the CC as his passive does not heal more than he takes in damage. Usually. As we might see an early gank. No, it's just taking the scuttle.
I'm actually surprised to see Dungle Jiff so early here in the top lane. I really expected this to be... Oh! Wow!
As we did miss the first blood, and we see Freshhook go wide. I apologize for missing that.
Solo Bolo in the mid lane is just 905, just getting a solo kill here. It's actually pretty good. Might die for it though. His flash is down. Ooh, the charge
I think he flashed to get...
Hey, he flashed for the kill, yeah.
Yeah. As we see Lilia flash out.
Ooh, the Seer stuns! Ooh, Dungle Chief might perish? He does not.
No return kill on the Lilia.
Very unfortunate. I believe the Akira E was charging, but... I believe the Akram E was charging, and it probably ran out as he was reaching the everything beyond Sky there, and just couldn't land it. Very unfortunate. Oh, we are gonna see a Rod of Ages build again from 905, I think.
Yeah, we're seeing it a lot. I like it this game a bit more, because you're going to be in some extended fights, and you want to heal up from the brand damage.
Ooh, a good Seer.
Also, besides Mundo, 905 will not have too much targets to burn down.
And Kaisa can deal with tanks.
As we see Mael being poked out by the Mundo, Q going wide.
And as I said, like the bot lane for MadMen Freaks is not going too well, as Aldi gets slain. Austin Army gets a kill early into the matchup.
As we might see an early dragon setup. It has been started by Nice Arc Otters.
It's gonna be feel really good for Nice Arc Otters overall if they get this dragon. The slow resist is gonna be really good. There's a lot of slows in MadMen Freaks, namely Zillion and just Victor overall when he gets later into the game. So it's gonna be really good. 5% slow resistance, nothing to scoff at. There's not a lot of tempo loss for Beyond Sky to do this, so good stuff. I have to say, I really enjoy 905's positioning overall when trying to get some focus. Ooh!
As we see the TP coming down instantly, as 905 will fall down for the feat of warfare.
Mael tries to get the TP in, but nothing really It's still the early game teleport. It's really slow. Nothing really happens. They cannot come in time in order to save. Ooh, this. What? We see. Oh, the Ollie comes in with the roam, but the hook lands onto Jungle Jiff, and Extrancer just slays Jungle Jiff. Lilting Lullaby
As
over
we
arrows.
see the first blade fall in top lane. Push, push, push indeed.
Again, Mael just overstayed their welcome into the mid lane with the roam and with the teleport, and as such, Mundo just does their thing and just gets it's a plate. He already has the first of many giant belts that he needs to acquire in order to complete this build, so things will not look pretty for this Mundo. Or rather, for MadMen Freaks as they have to play.
Hits, play used, nothing else.
The other interesting thing about like the rune setup for 905 is that he can't really like all in much. First of all, because yeah, he's building Rod of Ages, so his damage is gonna be a little on the lower end. Ooh, Mitchell loses the cannon minion. How unfortunate.
-1 we say.
-1 KW, as we say on the here at MadMen Freaks.
As you see the poke and the Q shield being used.
Ooh, the stun lands. Nothing much to say about it afterwards, but the stun does land there.
As you see Mael putting down some vision. You could check.
The aftershock has aftershock has been completed. The first upgrade for the Victor is there already, which is pretty good. The kill does help. It's 20 additional stacks early on. Aside from that, looking at the jungle matchup, like both of these junglers, like ironically, they're both like they both have oofs and they play a lot similarly. They play a lot of their gameplay is about moving fast and hitting the. Ooh, a Chain of Corruption. Ollie dredge lines onto the Thresh. A hook onto Shenzhen. Ooh, he has to burn the ult and the flash, and the piercing arrow goes wide, and nothing happens. A lot of resources were burned, but no one perishes. Shenzhen will also lose this wave. It's pretty bad. Ooh, Ollie stays. Oh, okay. I believe Ollie died fast enough, so the depth charge did not go through, and as such, he did not waste it. But Beyond Sky did have to flush. The fear of getting knocked up under turret was there.
As Mad Freaks do get something back for this.
Unfortunately, there's ooh, the ghost is burned. Audacious charge is burned. Ooh, okay,
that is a 1-for-1.
A kill trade. There's not even a Victor assist, sadly enough, so he cannot get further stacks of his passive. He does push the wave in, and he does get a recall. It's really unfortunate that he did not get the assist though.
I think Dungle Diff or Goop could have just maybe waited a little bit for the Victor to push in the wave.
Yeah, maybe the call wasn't coordinated well enough, but it is what it is. We see some deep vision here by Extrancer here. They're pretty good. It will help keep track of Dungle Jiff a lot. Although with his death, we pretty much know where he is. If he's not on birds right now, we know that he's on top side. But oh, okay. A little bit of poke there, Kaisa with the W. Despite the early lead that obviously Nicehack Otters have here in the bot lane, the CS is pretty even overall. As obviously there's a lot of more pressure on the side of NAO. But
gold also top lane just now it just ticked over, but they were literally 1 gold difference 10 minutes in the game, 11 minutes.
It makes sense. Their CS is pretty much even. They both have 1 plate each. It tracks.
Yep. As we do see the triple belt build from this top laner.
Yeah, I expect to see the Warmog first here. I actually wanted the Heartsteel instead. I don't think like Zillion has any threat on this Mundo at all. So he could just actually be greedy and go for the Heartsteel first. But
we do see a
Okay, there's something going on. The bowling ball goes wide.
Gravity field used.
And we do see the Rod of Ages. Like, pre-12 minutes, which is pretty decent. If you're not Twisted Fate, you're not getting this before 10 overall. By securing this dragon, this will be their second, and also their second neutral gem. Ooh, Ollie gets that charge. There's a TP coming in from Mael. This is, right now, it looks like a 1-for-1. But it's, ooh, double kill for Mimi's shield. Chrono Shift is used. Does not get the stun. Oh, okay. Mael gets a kill onto the extra answer. 905 is trying really hard, but he's not gonna be able to kill Beyond Sky, and this is like what the people are already coming back, but it was a lot of people fell. We saw teleports being used on both ends.
There's Mundo really coming in clutch, by the way.
Yeah, overall just good stuff for nice arc Otters. Ooh, the stun does not connect once again. If it did, by the way, the meat shield was dead on the spot. The wave would have just, oh, Ollie gets a hook. We see a bomb, and that should be killed. Shield is just gone. The shutdown for Mael. They have 2 kills now. It's pretty good. This is gonna mean what I assume it's a Cosmic Drive there for Mael right away. As soon as the recall gets, oh, they're pathing onto double and just get the wave. Yep. Oh, actually, because we can see the number of stacks on Victor Roll of Ages, I can tell you that it was on 10 minutes, so it's pretty good. I guess the early kill helped. Oh, a death sentence onto Ollie once again. He flashes over the wall, the flay does nothing. Ooh, the hook is...
Tower not taking aggro.
But that was a pretty cool hook, though. The Killer Instinct on level 1 on Kai'Sa is not particularly good in terms of range, so nothing happens there.
These guys are going crit builds as they are quite AP heavy, with mid and top being AP.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. It's pretty sad. Crit Kai'Sa is objectively her weakest build, but Shenzhen recognizes that they are very AP heavy otherwise, so it's a pretty wise decision on their part. We see a gang coming in, that charge. This is charge. That's a kill for Shenzhen, and it's gonna be a second kill for Shenzhen. Very well played by the part of MadMen Freaks. Very clean gank. This is what I actually hoped it was gonna happen the whole game for MadMen Freaks, is just Hecarim hyper-focusing bot lane. There's a lot of gank potential because the charge is really good alongside the Drench line. And we do see that Branu has completed their Warmogs. Now, like, Zillion Poke will do nothing on them. Absolutely nothing.
I am curious if they have enough bonus HP. They don't. They sold their D-Shield. They do not know the tech.
Well, regardless, there's a lot of HP that Mundo passive will provide initial regen, so...
Yep.
Mael is never achieving anything in this matchup anymore in regards of, like, actually killing the Mundo.
Yep.
Maybe denying some CS as he just did, but...
But I am quite disappointed by this D-Shield cell. Of course, if you don't know the tech, you could be mistaken, but you should just look at the mouse over on Warmogs and just see that it does not proc.
Yeah.
The triple belt build only works if you also have D-Shield and a few stacks of Grasp and Overgrowth.
Yeah, I can see it. It's basically a very tempo-based rush on Wormhogs, which is pretty decent. Regardless, I believe that on the next recall he will have it.
Yeah, obviously.
It's going to be fine, because once again, the Zillion matchup does not offer any resistance.
I believe he needs one Ruby Crystal to get it.
Yep. Ruby Crystal is, if I'm not mistaken, 180 HP.
150, I believe. But
yeah, I mean, and regardless, we just hover over the Warmogs once again, and we're going to be able to see if we have the necessary HP.
He does now by 50. Yep.
Yep, pretty good. Overall, now it's just a matter of get to the wave, push, do whatever you want, walk back, proc Warmogs, repeat, ad nauseum. Ooh, that sentence does not connect. Pretty standard stuff. Throwing a hook over a wall. I believe Lost in Harmony lost their Harmony, I suppose, and lost the Ketamine in there, which is pretty bad. We do say -1 KW here.
As we do see push come into Vector once more. Victor being a bit more well equipped to deal with this Mundo than the Zillion. As we see,
we are gonna see a Leandris here, so yeah, it's gonna help a little bit in that regard. But I do expect to see some more oomph from some more actual AP and damage onto this Victor. Otherwise, things will look a lot ugly in the late game. But because, as I said, there is the grub blocks the death sentence. That was interesting. We see an actual engage. We see, Lost in Armor is forced to flash, but the death charge ultimately does not. There's a flash. Death sentence onto. Four-man flash. Lullaby. We do see a proc of Chrono Shift there. Very good ult by Mael, preemptively using it while getting slept. But regardless, it's a NHO like sweep. They get 4 kills onto this mid lane. Insane flash play by Beyond Sky. Once again, I think essentially what they did here was like bait the Nautilus ult onto Lost in Harmony, but then Beyond Sky can just come in, do whatever they want, because they don't have a very good way to stop the Lilia unless there's just a random hook that
9 of 5 being in the top lane is detrimental for their team fighting.
This is essentially just a capitalization on MadMen Freaks just overstepping, and very competently so, in my opinion. This was really good engage.
As we will say, see a third Drake picked up. Which will give them defeats. As we see the upgraded boots also.
Flash the Dress Line. The Flay to block the Akram engage. Mael is here. Shenzhen does get the kill with the Cathian Ring. Also, yeah, we are seeing a Leandri second here for 905. It's going to help deal with the Mundo. Maybe we're going to have to see an Oblivion Orb on him as well. It's the best way for them to apply anti-heals overall, unless we see a Mortal Reminder on Shenzhen. Tough stuff. MadMen Freaks, not that far behind right now. Only like 1,500, like 1,500 gold.
Well, no, that Kai'Sa isn't going on hit. I do wonder if she is allowed to build a Blade of the Ruined King this game. The ultimate anti-tank, anti-mundo item.
Kai'Sa inherently has a decent way to deal with tanks via her passive, so maybe it will not be ultimately necessary. But maybe. It's either going to be a Blade or a Bloodthirster if Shenzhen wants lifesteal, so we'll have to wait and see. Also, Swift March is going to feel so good onto this Mundo later into the game. He's going to be very fast and hard to catch up with. Not only does he have a Cloud Dragon to offer some slow resistance, obviously Boost of Swiftness does that as well. So things are going to be very tough for them. On the side of nice Arc Otters, he's slow. Both getting the stun. Can Mael get the ult off? They can. No shift lands, they are resurrecting. Well, gets a Dredge Line. And they manage to escape. There's a couple of TPs coming in. Another Death Sentence onto Ollie. Little Lullaby onto 2 people. Ollie's put to sleep permanently. 905 is put to sleep temporarily. Beyond Skies wreaking havoc. A very good Onslaught of Shadows. A follow-up from Shenzhen. A huge shutdown for Shenzhen. Not only does a double Mael bomb land, but the Kai'Sa ulting in, securing the kill. It's pretty important. I think getting kills on Kai'Sa is the thing that you need. Is the thing that MadMen Freaks need in order to win this game.
Let's take a quick look at the gold graph, as it's pretty interesting so far. Red team being ahead, blue team getting some stuff back, but ultimately the red team getting up. As you do immediately see it even out a bit more after this fight, with the shutdown of course.
Yeah. And again, it's for what I would argue is the most important player for the MadMen Freaks this game, so pretty good stuff. We see an edge completion there, so.
Hecarim being a bit behind Lilia does suck for him, definitely.
Yep. And he does have what is considered by many a somewhat weak first item on the Eclipse. It's pretty decent on the Hecarim. He applies it pretty easily. He does need it a lot in regards to like just overall bulkiness. He has both his W for armor magic resist and then obviously the shield.
It does also give you some percentage HP against the Mundo.
I reckon that's not gonna be Dungle Jif's job. He's just there to apply CC onto the immobile backline and just like be there like prancing around, la la la, pressing Q, trying to shut down the enemy backline.
As Mundo has 4400 HP right now.
That is a lot of HP to shoot through. The only resources that MadMen Freaks have in order to deal with the HP is the Eclipse, although not by a lot. Kaisa passive, and obviously the Leandri is here by 905.
As we have a pause, lost an army.
Seems that
obviously disconnects.
We lost in harmony. Tough stuff. Let's take a look back and let's take a look at the game state regarding. Oh, he left the game again somehow.
Quick sneak peek. Yeah.
Let's take a look at the game state. I think things in regards to the game state are not as I expected in my honest opinion. Namely, there's a big lead in terms of gold onto Shenzhen compared to Lost in Harmony. He was able to get a lot of shutdowns, and that is part of the reason. Because as you can see from the CF, it's like 10 or so CS in favor of Lost in Harmony, which appears to be back. But I'm actually surprised at the big difference in performance in regarding the jungle matchup, because we can make the joke that they're both horses on the bottom half, but they do play very similar in a lot of ways, except Hecarim is obviously physical damage and Lilia is obviously magical.
Also, Hecarim uses different way to get in slightly. Hecarim uses a massive one-time speed steroid, whereas Lilia builds up and strolls into a team fight.
Yep, maybe throws a bowling ball here and there some of the times, but interestingly enough, the supports have essentially the same build. Obviously, not the same boots. They both have the locket, which is wise on both regards. Blocking either a good Lilia engage or a good Brand ultimate with locket is pretty good. There's also the Chain of Corruption. There's a lot of AoE, and obviously on the side of MadMen Freaks, there's a lot of AoE, namely the Victor.
I mean,
Victor Laser and Victor ult, and also like Hecarim stuff.
We saw Locket early on in the fight where Shenzhen got the shutdown. Locket almost denied 905 the kill with ult as well.
Yeah, pretty true. Also, honestly, it's a decent point, but I don't understand this steel caps against what essentially is only the Varus. I would probably choose either Mercury Treads or Swifties. Like there's going to be a lot of slows on the side of NAO. So
Varus going on hits for dealing a lot of magic damage.
No. In regards to that, it doesn't matter because Steel Caps' passive will block damage from auto attacks, including the stuff. So that actually doesn't matter.
They changed that a while ago.
No, honestly, I think as far as I remember, I think it's always been that way. Like that, the passive always worked that way in regards to on-hit damage. Might be mistaken on that part, but
I might as
well. If there was like, I don't know, maybe a Kindred instead of this Lilia, maybe I would understand the steel caps, but I think as opposed to that, it doesn't seem very wise. Also, as you can see, our push man is here with 0 deaths as of right now.
Which for a Mundo that is winning generally.
I mean, I honestly, for anyone in League of Legends, no.
Yeah.
If you can just have no deaths and do things, it's the optimal gameplay, I would say.
As I would also like to take this time to shout out all the viewers, as we have hit affiliate now on the MadMen channel.
Yeah, as soon as we can get Gambas to work, we are working on Gambas and Gambas and predictions and voting and anything.
We know the dopamine addiction of League players. As we might be restarting. Keep in mind that we might have to skip back 5 seconds or something to make sure it does not stop again.
Oh, we return.
Let's see if it keeps going, or that if we need to wait a
Yeah,
little bit.
it's gonna like speed bump as it usually does.
Yep.
I expect to see a. Oh, there's our speed bump. There it is. What? Oh. Struggling a little bit. As I was gonna say, I expect a spiritual engineer completion for Dungeljif, and so it's such as the case. I also expect a future Blackfire Torch there for that lost chapter on to me mid shield. Surprised to see there's no boots completion. Victor does appreciate having move speed a lot. And now we see a dragon setup, which will be soul for NAO if MadMen freaks are not careful.
Slight posturing as the Drake has started, and MadMen crucially do not see it being started.
And both Beyond Sky and Lost in Harmony are proficient, are piloting proficient champions that taking out objectives. We see a gravity shield field that unfortunately does not do a lot. We see a Death Sentence onto my health. We see it engage on both sides of the huge Chaos Storm onto Beyond Sky. X-Trans is almost dead. Yeah. Oh, Lost in Harmony gets caught by the Nautilus Ultimate. This Chaos Storm is ginormous. 905 with the double kill. 905. It does not get the Slay Brano here. It is Mael. And
what happened here is that Mundo uses ult for movement speed to engage, which means he cannot continue this fight.
The Chrono Shift made it so that essentially literally no one died on Mad Fat Freaks.
Yeah.
And now Mael also has a Smite here, which is just a pretty fun thing. So they probably will not be able to use it because it's there. But we see a Atakan secure for Mad Fat Freaks. Overall, a very positive fight for them as well. No one died. They got 3 kills. They denied the soul and got Atakan.
As we will quickly take a look at how the gold graph swinged from just that single fight.
That's essentially like from almost 3,000 gold swing from like 25 something in minutes in.
Yep, which is quite impressive. I think some LEC teams could learn something from that, you know.
We now see that the MadMen Freaks are going towards the Baron, like setting a vision. See a ward on the Raptors or on the side of the NAO.
Quite a lot of vision invested in this top side.
Our pushman is being ambushed once again by MadMen Freaks. They stun lands. Dungeljif is spinning around. Onslaught of Shadows into Drench Line, into Killer Instinct. Everything was used there to take Brando down. Will this be converted onto a Baron? Okay, they do start it. We see double bombs thrown on the Baron. There's a teleport coming in. That's 905, which was pushing bot lane. There's a Death Sentence coming in. Chrono Shift is used very early, I would say. X-Drenzer is slain. Lilting Lullaby onto Dungeljif and Shenzhen with Arts down. 905 gets in. The Nautilus auto-attacks the Beyond Sky. And it seems Lilio is going to get slain. He flashes away from the spin and actually gets a double kill. He is the one that gets to slay Beyond Sky and only survives the encounter. Impressive stuff by MadMen overall.
We almost saw a reversal of what happened at the Baron pit. Or at the Drake pit. But 905 just with this Victor ult growing very strong. As it does dissuade the Baron.
I mean, overall this is still very positive for MadMen Freaks. They are pushing their lead a lot.
As we see Drenser being just a little bit paranoid and just checking to make sure.
Oh, and we do see a Mortal Reminder there for Shenzhen, so now he will be able to deal a little bit with the health regen from Branu's Mundo here.
Yeah, I mean he is kind of struggling on this Mundo. In the Drake fight, he uses ult a bit on the early side, and then he got caught top lane by 4 or 5 people from MadMen Freaks. It happens. As we do see spectator book, this tier 2 tower is
yeah. This tower is gone. Don't worry about it. It's just a spectator bug. We had to pause. It happened. Taking a look at some of the spells that Mael has right now, it's pretty interesting. It's just unsealed spellbook things. He has both a cleanse and a smite right now. I reckon that he wants to burn this smite soon, so he has his teleport back. Aside from that, looking at item completions, we see that Mael has his signature. What he's now is signature. Oh, there's a small engagement here.
really nicely staggering the bombs so he doesn't proc the passive early.
Okay, we still also the shadows, the moment bulbs, the ults, and he gets to run away. Now, if I needs to be careful, he's gonna get caught in the middle. He gets hit by the Shade of Corruption. This should be a kill. Gravity field pop.
Very nice gravity field.
Insane gravity field. He gets the Lilting Lullaby is used. This should mean bowling ball just secures the kill onto 905 and he perishes. But there was a lot of resources used by NAO. This might not be the Baron.
Crucially, no flash is invested for 905.
Ooh, Pyroclasm is used. Meat shield. Ooh, sends him the stun. Cleanse is up. We see Chrono Shift is used. The revive is popped. Shenzhen is resurrecting. Ooh, instantly caught by the Death Sentence. The cleanse and the ult. But there's a stasis procced by Meat Shield and he does not fall. This should mean the Baron for an NAO. They are choosing to rotate towards the dragon in order to secure the soul. Ooh, there's a double bomb there on Beyond Sky. Mael gets to run away. Yeah, there's Shirelli.
Mael still has the smite, but no flash.
No flash and no way to get in.
He has an ult though. He could try with the Blast Cone, possibly.
There's no vision.
As he is too late. Yeah.
No, that was this Scuttle. Everything is fine.
Oh, well.
Is he gonna try? It's already too late. Yeah,
it is too late.
Try.
I would have loved if Mael.
It would have been interesting. It would have been interesting. It favored the Beyond Sky a lot because there's a lot of instant damage that Lily could just output there. So.
Also, the upgraded smite, of course.
At this point in the game, they both have upgraded smite. Despite being yellow there, it is a 1200 smite there.
It is.
Mael.
I see. Yeah.
As a one trick, as a unsealed spellbook enjoyer, I can tell you that this is the case. It basically depends on how many summoners you've picked before, but at this point in the game, with how many summoners Mael has picked, they have a 1200 damage smite. There's a lot of extra poke that can be used with the soul right now. That if there's a random the Drench line is not enough to catch the Drenzer there. We see Dino 5 here trying to be sneaky and get a poke down. Gravity shield to try and catch Drenzer. He gets caught by the Drench line. We see an engagement going on. A flash, a Lilting Lullaby.
The cleanse being used.
The cleanse by Mael being used. There's a Chrono Shift. Mael is being resurrected. Push. He's pushing towards
Death, maybe. Has the...
But ultimately, it's a win overall for NAO with a very good Flash Lilting Lullaby.
They don't have any ults left, though, which could be a problem. As the Chrono Shift is almost back up. What is this cooldown, man?
Mael does have 3 very high ability haste items onto his build. And the boots as well, obviously. Ooh, there's a Death Sentence onto 905. The Chrono Shift is used. 905 is fighting back with all that they have. They kill Drenzer! The Chrono Shift is gonna burn out, and 905 falls despite having a Chrono Shift before put on him.
I think that is
trying their best. The Seer lands. Mael is gonna try their damnedest to run. They have a lot of tools to do so. A lot of bombs throwing around.
As this does put them too low to take the Baron.
Mael is just trying to get some damage onto Meat Shield. The longer this game goes, by the way, the stronger this Mundo will be in regards to just overall having a lot of HP and having the famous rapid fire combo of Titanic Hydra, Auto Titanic Hydra and E, which will deal like something around the 2000 damage. So Scary stuff.
I think he still needs a little bit more HP. Let's check. He currently has 5,800, almost 5,900 HP.
Yeah. We do expect to see a Overlord's Bloodmail next, which is gonna push the AD amount, the AD that he has to like the 500s or so. So let's see.
He only has 380 currently.
Only. Having more AD than Shenzhen at this moment, for example, I would assume.
Shenzhen has 270
270. Yeah, Mundo is just very silly. It's particularly when he gets the Overlord's Bloodmail, I would assume. Oh, Ollie gets caught by the death sentence. Stunned. Blooming Blows. Secures the kill. And Beyond Sky, 12, 3, and 10. Impressive scoreline.
MadMen do see this happening.
They know the Baron has started. Their support is down. Oh, we see ATP from 905 coming in. Exodancer is stunned by the level bomb.
Shenzhen.
The hook does not land on 905, but we see a meat shield trying to flank. Gets an insane pyroclasm. Forces the Chrono Shift and push. Gets the push onto Shenzhen and he dies. The Chaos Storm is chasing Granza. He flashes away from it and he's fine. The Time Bomb was on Beyond Sky. No one from NAO that falls. And this should be the Baron for NAO. Oh, we see Exodancer here. Ooh, manages to flash both the Flay and the Seer. Oh, that's the Baron for NAO. Tragic stuff for MadMen Freaks after what looked like a very strong comeback. But they overpushed their luck and got punished by it. We now see a lot of items being concluded. Oh, we're not gonna see Overlord's Bloodmail. I assume that's a Spirit Visage onto Brownu next.
I would think so, yes.
Enough. Which means that the one-shot combo for Mundo is gonna be a lot weaker, but still, it's pretty impressive. Just 3 autos with 300 AD is just a lot of damage to land on top of a squishy target. Good luck to Shenzhen and 905 to survive that if they get caught by it, is what I will say. We see 2 Zhonya's Hourglass on both Beyond Sky and Meat Shield, which is going to help against a hard engage from Dungle Jiff, perhaps a set of bombs or the depth charge. I was going to comment on how it's MadMen Freaks need to be a bit careful of this soul now, because a random bowling ball can just poke slow MadMen Freaks enough that we see just a random death sentence land onto people and start fights from there. We see NAO here, CG. Oh, that sentence lands. No follow-up. There's a bowling ball that lands on my L as well. Bowling ball once again lands on Ollie. We see an engage, Chaos Storm, Dredge Line, and Death Charge, but the Zhonya shuts it down, and Ollie falls. Hey, at this point of the game, unless you can absolutely guarantee a kill, this Nautilus is gonna feel like dead weight. This should essentially be Elder Dragon for NAO, and this will probably seal the deal and make it game 1 for NAO. We now see that both the Varus and the Lily are on it, while MadMen Freaks try to get a push onto mid lane and secure that tier 2, but it's for naught, as the rest of NAO
6,400 health, 360 AD for this Mundo, currently.
Lilting, ooh, piercing arrow with a Lilting. Will he fall to the burn damage plus the other dragon? He does!
As I think this might be the end push with this Mundo.
This might be the end for this game for MadMen Freaks. The bullet, ooh, flash Chain of Corruption. Shenzhen is fighting for his life, gets burned, Elder Dragon burned down, but the Chrono Shift is there. Gets the Killer Instinct out, but he falls to Brando, just damage. Just Mundo pushing into the enemy nexus now.
As that
and this is the end for game 1. Yeah. Fans are donating a kill to Shenzhen actually, but yep, that is game 1.
As we.
Oof. Impressive stuff overall by by NAO.
Yep, definitely.
I also expect the highest damage of the game to have been either that Lilia or that Mundo Mimichu. Not the Mundo, I mean the brand, because there was a lot of burning going around.
Definitely, definitely.
I don't expect it to be the Mundo because he had to spend a lot of the time handling a Zillion and not being able to punch him much, sadly, for him. But
as we will quickly, we should get a if we can find it, we should get a overview of the as we do have a quick overview of the post game stats.
yeah, as I said, Beyond Sky with an impressive performance of 14, 3, and 15. And a what's that? 40,000 damage on a 36-minute game. It's more than 1k DPM. It's impressive.
It is. It definitely is. As we will quickly have a short break until the next draft starts.
And we're back. Game 2 draft is about to start. Interesting stuff happened along the way. We're gonna see a lot. Gonna see some different champions as this is Fearless. I wonder what MadMen Freaks are gonna reply, as that first game was essentially a wash. It was a back and forth wash, but it was a wash nonetheless. Nice Arc Otters with the push Mundo.
As we see, MadMen Freaks take red side this game. Draft obviously hasn't started just yet. But we are very close.
I think at least MadMen Freaks can rest assured that we're not going to see a hulking abomination pushing their turrets this game, as we are in the Fearless Draft, and we don't have to see Mundo anymore for the next at least game, or perhaps two if MadMen Freaks can bounce back.
Definitely. As we do see draft start.
Once again, the Aurelia ban, as we saw in game 1. I assume Mael is not going to get this for the series at all. Are we perhaps going to get the same bans? I believe the Iron was also on the ban list from Nice Arcados in game 1. Is this going to be a Graves ban as well then? With that in mind?
Maybe. It might be.
Well, Graves ban once again.
Yeah.
Sandra, I mean, I think we are seeing the same bans. It's not going to be a salty run back because that does not happen in Fearless, but it does look like one.
Yeah, definitely.
I believe the Ezreal is a different ban though. I don't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure it was not the Ezreal.
I believe it was a different ban, yeah. A Lucian.
Oh yeah, it was Lucian, you're correct. Cassante being hovered. And locked in as a first pick. Interesting choice overall.
It was obviously banned last game as well.
True. I wonder what Mael will reply with. I expect a R3 top lane pick at this point then. Just to like have a feel for what's happening in the game, and being able to pick something that's both good into Cassante and into the rest of the game. Otherwise, I could just see a Renekton being slammed. Mael plays that type of champion. Akali!
Akali being locked in now, yeah.
As interesting pick. I don't believe this is going to be top lane to match the Cassante. Although I have no idea how this plays out.
I'm fairly sure you don't like the matchup as Akali.
I'm not sure. Akali is really good at handling melees, although Cassandra does have a lot of move speed to catch up to the Akali passive. It's hard to tell, actually. I have no idea, but I assume as soon as Cassandra gets like a Negatron cloak, Akali does nothing. And then... Fair.
Hey, Tristana locked in.
And Tristana! We have with a lot of ADCs, there is a Tristana lock pick for the Tristana pick for the MadMen Freaks.
I like Tristana. We haven't seen the draft for the rest, of course, but Tristana right now is in a pretty strong spot in League.
I cannot disagree. This is pretty good. I actually even wondered why she wasn't picked on game 1, but I believe she was also banned on the second round of...
She was, yeah.
Sivir, which was hovered on the first game, but now is picked on the second game by the Nice Arc Otters. I believe there's going to be some struggling in lane in this matchup. Sivir just stands there, clears waves, hopes to get stronger. About 2 or 3 items, she's pretty strong, particularly into if she has frontline to help her defend herself. And finally, we see a Vi lock in for the Nice Arc.
Vi, if she can get onto the Akali, she can somewhat lock her down. Tristana obviously able to buffer most of the Vi abilities.
Yeah, Rocket Jump is able to buffer most of the engage. Alistar is a interesting pick. Again, I expected to see a R3 top lane here because there's a Cassante there already, and there's no way he's going anywhere else. Unless they expect the mid laner for Nice Arc Otters to also be able to play Cassante, but this is...
Maybe they want to keep the flex alive with the Akali. See the enemy mid laner first. MadMen are obviously on the red side, so they have the counter pick on R5.
But with that in mind, what do you pick here? I guess jungler on R4.
Yeah, you see the Vi.
Then again, why just not pick our jungler on R3, actually? I guess it actually doesn't matter, but you are leaving yourself 2 jungle bans now.
Yep.
And the Poppy ban. Poppy ban intrigues me even more, but I guess they don't want to see the Poppy supporting against Alistar, which is actually wise.
All the champions from MadMen Freaks do have dashes that Poppy can block, to be fair.
True. I will give them that.
I'm not sure if Poppy can interrupt the Tristana jump with her E.
But it is possible depending on the angle.
Yeah, I see.
And lastly, we see a Fiora ban, which was also banned on the first game.
Yep.
With this, let's see what MadMen Freaks reply as for R4. But again, I expect a top lane pick. Oh no, I know you're correct. It's we can maybe it is an Akali flex, and why we see the what?
Yeah, some
hovers. Nidalee, Mundo, Olaf, Nocturne, Skarner, Wukong. Is it a Wukong? Wukong is pretty decent here.
Actually, this would
and it is.
Wukong lock in. Yeah.
Wukong is fairly proficient at dealing with heavy magic, physical damage teams. He also likes fighting over long periods of time. And both of these things are very good into Cassante and very good into Vi as well. So that's a pick that I can appreciate. And this again, once again leaves that Akali flex, possible Akali flex. Oh, we see a Veigar hover, which famously is somewhat favorable into the Akali. We've seen many, even on the highest tiers of play, this pick do very well. Famously, I can think of like Nemesis versus Faker. Nemesis piloting the Veigar in this matchup. But essentially, if you survive the laning phase, your E like busts. The Akali engages very heavily.
Also, the Veigar cage, the baby cage, kind of emulating the Poppy.
In a way, yeah, exactly. Not as efficiently, but yeah, in a way. And finally, we see a Braum, which is excellent pick into both the Akali, the Alistar, and the Wukong. Ooh, is this in fact actually an? I don't think I like this Fizz pick.
No. I don't expect it to be Fizz. It is a good matchup into the Veigar, but then you're putting your Akali top against the Cassante, and I'm still not sure if you like that. As the timer is ticking down. It is a Fizz?
We see a Fizz. Ultimately, it could be Fizz top lane here, but I expect it to be mid lane. We're not going to be able to see trades right away. We're going to see them after the next draft graphic that we're going to see. Interesting stuff overall. I don't know what to say, but essentially, nice Arc Otters have a lot of tools to not be engaged on by MadMen Freaks. And their team, I think, scales better overall. So they would just be better into the later stages of the game. There's either going to be a lot of misplays on the side of one of the teams, or I just expect this game to last and ultimately favor the nice Arc Otters. Once again, we're going to see the match.
As the chat says, 4 press Arc champs on blue side, they will be proud. That would be true if nice Arc Otters weren't playing on blue side, so I'm not sure. I mean, there are some press Arc champs on red side as well. Mainly Wukong, Fizz, Alistar. As I do think that nice Arc Otter have the easier comp to execute in general. However, if you can, for example, set a Veigar behind as MadMen Freaks, I think nice Arc Otter will have a very broad damage spread. There won't be a singular carry that can burst someone down.
The thing about this matchup in the mid lane for Fizz Veigar is that there's not a lot of easily applicable pressure from the jungle onto this matchup, unless there's a big misposition by Meat Shield, which overall should just mean that he's gonna fall to 905. So I don't see how this is gonna be able to be done unless there's just dives happening, and 905 tanks the dive and then uses Playful Trickster to walk away. But once again, how can they set that up? There's no way that Fizz can control the wave that well into a Veigar. It's gonna be difficult overall for MadMen Freaks to do anything in this mid lane matchup, I believe. And there's a lot of misplay going on. I don't know how this is going to pan out for... Well, I don't know how this can pan out well for the MadMen Freaks.
Also, I do expect the bot lane for Nizark Otter once again to be a bit stronger in the early game than MadMen Freaks. Braum, obviously very notorious level 1 champion with the Q. Concussive blows.
I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I think at level 3, Shenzhen and Ollie can absolutely pop Lost in Harmony, or even actually X-Drenzer overall, because obviously they can very easily pop the spell shield from Sivir in ways that will hurt her, regardless of what happens. And then if the explosive charge from Tristana can land onto the Sivir and be destroyed, that's like 200 or so damage that is done for free, irregardless of the auto attacks that are gonna amp up that damage before. So I think there's a possibility of kills happening in the bot line. I just don't know how viable that is gonna be overall. And again, if they don't get the kill, it's gonna be hard for them to walk away, especially versus with the Braum passive and the Sivir passive. They can just keep chasing on, keep slowing them and stunning them and chasing them. It'd be tough. I'm far more curious about these solo lane matchups. Can Meat Shield stop the relentless oppressive force of Fizz in the early game, and can Mael survive this matchup even, or do something in this matchup? Again, I think Akali is really good at handling melees overall because of her Q and passive, but I don't know if she can do anything onto Branu on the Cassante here. Unless we see some sort of bruisery type of Kali, this is going to be difficult, I believe.
Yeah, I do think that if the Fizz blunders early on and gives the Veigar lead, it is almost impossible to come back for the Fizz. So
especially if we... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I would assume the Wukong's still looking to influence mid a bit, even though it's hard.
Yep. I don't believe it's going to be easy to influence bot, unless there's like a very highly coordinated wave state in which there's a very easy engage by Ollie, in which Jungle Jiv can just follow up. Top lane is doable. The lane is longer. Cassandra doesn't have a huge way to escape a gank, unless there's a wave coming and he can jump onto it.
Yeah.
And lastly, what I wanted to say is that if indeed Mitchell gets ahead, he can just buy some sort of defensive item to scale up. For example, very famously, have been able to see some Fimble Winters on Veigars as well, or just Rod of Ages in general. Fimble Winter has been favored because it gives you some ability haste, which is like your most wanted stat, because you can just get ability haste from pressing Q onto minions and getting kills and assists. You just need essentially a Rabadon and a Void Staff and you're good to go. So I wonder what the adaptation for Mimic Shield is going to be here, but there's going to need to be a lot of love being poured onto this fish. Otherwise, he's going to be skewered and served in a barbecue. Or something, I don't know. I guess pummeled to death by Vi.
As we
exploded into bits, into spacey bits by the Veigar.
Sure. As I do want to ask you about the Vi Wukong matchups quickly. The Monkey versus the Arcane Girl. Who wins early? Who has an easier time ganking? Obviously the Vi with the lockdown, with the cease and desist.
My thoughts are, earlier into the game, like levels 1 to 3, 1 to 5, I believe it's going to be essentially a skill matchup because the Wukong, if they have the clone up and available, can just dodge the Vi Q. They just up onto the side or onto the back. They dodge the Vi Q completely, and if that happens, they pretty much should win the engagement. Wukong is very good, as I said, at fighting long fights because it's passive, and because the way over-aggression is rewarded by reducing the cooldown on his Q, he just bonk you with the stick. Continually doing that, he should win the fights. Level 6 Vi power spikes a lot. Her ult is very good at locking down. It should pretty much guarantee kills, as Wukong probably doesn't. It's just going to be really good at team fights. Wukong overall does skill better. He's a champion that is essentially a 2-item, 3-item, 4-item monster. So if the game gets to that, that's going to be a very important deal overall for the MadMen Freaks.
As we have the runes up on screen.
We do see the Conquer on the Akali?
Yep, Veigar with the Airy as well. Which does make sense. Fizz dodges the combat fairly easily.
And
But
if you
maybe
want the Gathering Storm and the other stuff, yeah, I would.
maybe
agree.
I would have liked to see something like an electrocute or a electrocute more. As once you do have Fizz lockdown, you deal a lot more damage.
Well, we see a first mana flow ban proc. We also see a 1 AP granted towards the Veigar, so he's pretty happy about that. I was going to comment that we do see the Conquer on the Akali, so another AP stack for Veigar is pretty good. We do see the Conquer on the Akali, which could mean that we're going to see a bruisery type of Akali. Other than that, I think the runes are pretty standard. It's pretty common to see Tristana with the lethal tempo nowadays on bot lane. You can even start Q level 1, just pummel people down with Q. And Fizz here trying to instantly get control of the wave, gets a push in. That's the Razor Crash's bot lane. We see Lost in Army choosing to start with a W to poke a little bit, get some. Oh, okay, never. We did see that Shenzhen chose to start with the E. Oh, dodges the Winter's Bite, pretty good. But overall, just standard ADC stuff level 1. Obviously, Sivir being Sivir with the W gets the push. There's no pressure from the ports as they're both melee.
As I do imagine that the W start from Sivir is just to match the E start from Tristana with pushing the wave.
I believe it's pretty solid. I haven't paid much attention to Sivir gameplay in a while. Ooh, I also see that we see a tier start on the Veigar, which I'm not particularly big of a fan of. When playing Veigar, you actually should try to apply some pressure on your opponent, and with a tier, you cannot do that much.
On the other hand, there is a lot of dive on the side of Matrix, so I do get the Archangels as your mana item.
Oh no, I agree. It's going to be Archangels or Fimbulwinter, but I expect you to start with the Doran's Ring, is what I mean to say.
Yep.
I also noticed that he does not have ability haste on his shards, which is usually commonly taken on Veigar, in order to get as much ability haste as you can as early as possible, in order to stack up as quickly as possible.
Yep.
Again, as I expected from this matchup, Mael has a slight lead. Pretty good stuff by Man05. Dodges, gets both the electrocute proc and manages to not get poked a lot. So, pretty good stuff. Oh, we see Beyond Sky here after a full clear, trying to lane gank or perhaps intercept a Wukong engagement.
As we do. Beyond Sky will get spotted out now.
Oh no, I actually believe he dodged the. Oh, we see an engagement. But Shenzhen does not use the explosive charge, funnily enough. Okay. Oh, there's a... Dungle does get caught, but the Scuttle move speed is there to allow him to escape. Ultimately, it's just a bit of a scuffle, but nothing really happens. Interestingly enough, we see that a 500 gold lead for MadMen Freaks this early into the game is actually impressive.
Top lane and mid lane.
I believe...
Mostly.
Yeah, I believe that's mainly the reason. It's just a lot of stuff regarding waves, but that's impressive overall for the early game. But again, it's because the Akali is so proficient at handling melees. You can press Q and walk away swiftly with your passive, and you just don't get hit back. It's very annoying overall for any melee to deal with. So,
as I take my words back, the Akali is indeed handling this Kazantis fairly well so far. I wonder how it will be later on in the game when Kazante gets a bit more stats, defensive stats. Will the Akali still be able to...
misses out on the cannon minion. Unfortunate. Oh, we do see first blood for Shenzhen and the bot lane. You get a kill onto Dranzer and not Lost in Harmony here, surprisingly enough. Lost in Harmony is also quite low on HP, but... I don't know exactly how that happened, but I assume it was some sort of engagement. Perhaps a mistake by the side of X-Transit, because I see that even the Ignite is still up there for Ollie, so I don't know exactly what happened. As we see, first back, instantly Negatron Cloak, just to be annoying towards the Akali. This matchup is a lot about being able to just be there and withstand poke, so this is going to be very useful. especially paired with that Ordnance shielded one. If I can remember correctly, a second wind revitalized there, maybe just the second wind. Overall, it's good stuff.
Second wind.
Second wind overgrowth, but the second wind there is gonna heal you with through the poke a lot. Ooh, dip pink ward there. Impressive stuff. I don't think I like the early rush of boots there by Mael, but that is the choice that they make. We also see a blasting wand on the side of 905. We see some sort of engagement.
Ult hitting Mr. Meat Shield and
not even the
905
Guardian saves
getting
me Meat Shield there, but Vi is here, so is Ollie. The pulverize onto two people to save a 905. He gets stunned by the Brawl passive, but he gets out scot-free. Solo Bolo here for, oh no, yeah, Solo Bolo for 905 in this matchup. Okay, we see all out. Perfect execution. We see flash by Branu, but to no avail. Mael gets out scot-free. Is gonna lose out maybe on some waves. They do have a refillable pot, so maybe they stick around.
Early Drake being started for MadMen Freaks here.
Okay, the headbutt to keep the Vi away. Ollie gets stunned. Gets pulverized only onto Extranser. Jungle Jiff gets tagged. The cage lands on top of Jungle Jiff and he falls. 905 gets a Q and manages to pull out. And they NAO secure the first dragon. 905 here has 2 of the components for Lichman already. Things are gonna start getting crazy and scary if he does complete it in less than, I would say, like 5 minutes. Well, maybe a little less than that to be truly scary, but...
As Vigor is going fully scaling with the catalyst of...
Eons.
Yes.
By picking this, I assume this is also going to be an Archangel then. This is going to be the Meat Shield thinks that this is going to be a slow game and they're going to capitalize on that. Otherwise, if you think this game is fast, especially since 905 got the skill early, I would not have chosen the Catalyst and I just would have turboed into the Fimbul Winter. Ooh, Mael uses the E, dodges the Q3 for Cassante, it's going to skip free. Pretty good stuff from Mael here. Manages to escape the engagement there. Jungle Jiff is also here on the top line, so maybe there's going to be an engagement going on. We know that Branu does not in fact have flash. Oh, Shuriken flip. Ooh, misses the Q3. Cyclone is used. And that's the feat of warfare for the MadMen Freaks. Jungle Jiff gets a gank onto top lane and secures the kill.
Yeah. I mean, we see a 300 gold lead mid lane, almost 300 gold lead for the ADCs, and a 500 gold lead for the top lane. Only the jungle being 200, taking 200 gold back. So far, MadMen are happy. Of course, they lost to Drake, but 9 minutes, 1.2k gold lead. I think they're still overall pretty happy. Now, basically picking up the grubs uncontested.
And honestly, I think it's all related to the lane dominance from both 905 and Mael specifically.
As we saw
in their own unique way, as we get another kill.
That's Flash and Exhaust used for the Braum, Flash and Cleanse used for Shenzhen. As concussive blows, kill.
Ooh, that Boomerang Blade gets the kill. Oh, but there's a return kill from Shenzhen, impressively enough. And, with this, they secure the Yultal.
Yeah, I did not expect the return kill, but I guess
things are looking incredible.
Being on the tower does that to a man, or woman, or a garden person.
A garden gnome. Impressive stuff by Shenzhen with the 1v2 return kill there under the turret.
And I think MadMen Freaks are feeling a lot better this early game than last game.
For sure. I mean, there's a Lich Bane completed by 905 here. I expect to see a lot of aggression, essentially clearing the wave that's about to arrive here, and like get a roam in, get onto top of Lost Harmony, and burn their summoners and perhaps even kill them through that, to be honest. Because that's how strong he is right now.
He manages to Beyond Sky being across the wall. Lane gank, possibly.
Ooh, an engagement by Ollie, a two-man Alistar combo. Concussive blows. Indomitable Will is not up, and Ollie falls.
Flash infested by
Beyond
Sky.
Sky.
Yeah.
Very impressive Vault Breaker flash combo by Beyond Sky, which just ultimately slays Ollie. We see a Haunting Guys as I predicted for my L here, which could either be a Leandri's or a Riftmaker rush, but I expect either to be fine. With the new Haunting Guys item of Bloodletter's Curse, we could also see that one later down the line. For my L, just getting a lot of HP in to secure more AP overall.
As I see, Beyond Sky is still being bot side. Shenzhen hopefully does not get greedy, as we've seen a quick trade in the mid lane.
Oh yeah, the
as we did see a short crash here. Are you still there, Vesu? Alright. We will quickly have to break me. It's fine. It's over. Very nice re-engage from 905. Else Dungle Jiff will die. Oh. Sorry. Yeah. As we did see a bit too deep of a dive. As I do apologize for the camera stutter that just occurred. As it Oh, shit. Yeah, they hear you again. Can you talk?
There's an engagement by MadMen Freaks trying to get a kill onto Dranzer, but the Call of the Hunt is used, and Dranzer is able to escape his life. MadMen Freaks secured their second neutral objective, which means they only need the third one, or eventually the first tower of the game, and they will secure feats, as they have secured the feat of warfare. As such, they only need one of the other two in order to get those sweet upgraded boots later into the game. I do suspect that that second item for 905 is going to be a Zonius. It's just very useful overall. You perform your full combo while you're waiting for your E to get back. You press Zonius in hopes you can either maybe dodge something or... Ooh, it's the first story actually goes in favor of NAO. They have to invest Meat Shield's Flash and Branu's Teleport, but they do get it. This does mean that they will have to fight tooth and nail in order to get the third, the feat of monster slaying.
As I will ask the chat to refrain from some comments.
We now are seeing a bit of regular lane control in the mid lane. Both towers still stand, so it's very quiet. Nothing really is happening.
As they do get a small pause. As we do apologize for the technical difficulties we had a bit earlier on. Applications crashing does that to a stream. As we will quickly check, as there is a jungle lag from the side of MadMen Freaks. As I do want to point out a quick teleport being channeled by the Fizz to move approximately 5 Teemos in top lane.
I mean, he was in base when he was channeling that teleport. He's just there to protect the turret from the push.
Yep.
By me, Meat
Shield.
Oh,
it's... You are right, they changed teleport. It is in progress. If we quickly take a look at... Oh, we cannot pull up the gold graph currently as we are in a pause. But MadMen Freaks still being about 2k ahead, spread over their players.
And crucially, Fizz is the one that holds the biggest lead, which arguably for the state of the game right now is where the gold needs to be. Otherwise, I would like to see it on, obviously, the Tristana, because the gold lead on top lane is essentially purely on merit of Mael with lane dominance and like 35 CS lead. It's just impressive, but again, it's in mind with what I said.
So we can quickly check how many stacks of phenomenal evil this figure has. 142 at 17 minutes. Which is pretty average for a Vigor.
I don't know if we have any news regarding the motive for this pause.
Jungle lag from the side of MadMen Freaks, as we are being informed that the pause will be shortly unpaused, and we will be continuing the game. Possibly. As far as I'm aware, as I do not currently have the rulebook right in front of me, but I do believe both teams are entitled to either 10 or 15 minutes of pause time during a game.
Yes, which means after the allotted time has ended, the game needs to resume regardless of the situation.
Yep.
Otherwise, there's going to be further penalization.
Of course, only 5 minutes being being used so far. Curiously enough, MadMen only need one more objective to get the feats, while Nice Arc Otters still need 2 of the objectives. Well, they do have the tower, first tower, of course. Looking a bit at the builds, we obviously see the Liandris from the Akali, Kenny Rukun start from from the Cassante. Overall, not too interesting. Ollie having completed the Locket of the Arwen Solari yet. Dranzer not yet, and both ADCs having the Yentals.
I wonder what the next item for Browno is going to be here. With that chain vest, it could be a lot of things. It could be a Sunfire, could be.
As we are back into game, obviously, as always, having the hump.
Expect some, expect some turbulence as we correct the timer back onto the correct state. But as I was commenting, I wonder what the chain vest is going to build into. As again, it could be many things. Sunfire being one of them is the first one that came to mind. It could be Iceborne, which is famously very good on Cassante overall. Or it could be just a straight up transition into the Jack Shrewsbury protein. As just wanting to be overall a frontline is very normal for Cassante. I am curious as to what he will choose. The Filter is used, is unable to dodge. Well, yep. We can already see the Veigar is having positive trades onto the Fizz. He is able to dodge the Veigar W, but nothing really happened at the end of it all. Ollie is wandering around the top lane just to provide some backup to the Fizz. Is unable to spot that ward on the Pixel Rush. And with the lead that Shenzhen has overall picked up, we could be seeing a completed Infinity Edge on this recall. Although perhaps I expect a completed Boots and perhaps a component for Infinity Edge, as we obviously see in what I see.
Yeah.
Again, and with that Finnish context, I really think it's going to be a Riftmaker second here for Mael, which just tells me what I mentioned before. It's a bruiser type of Akali, being annoying, like trying to disrupt the flow of either Lost in Memory or Mimi Beat Shield.
As we see also a lot of tankier builds from the side of now, so I do think the bruiser style makes sense also in the overall context of the game.
Yeah, Shenzhen is gonna need some sort of frontline in order to. Ooh, had that Shuriken flip landed onto Mimichu, that would have been dangerous for Mael. Mael manages to just walk away with some Qs thrown at her face, at Akali's face, just.
As we do see a slight setup for Drake. Not sure if they will commit.
And again, if MadMen Freaks secure this will mean that they win the feats of monster hunting, securing their second feats of the game. So, and it seems they're just being allowed to take them scot free. The Atakan spawns on the bot side, as there was a lot of action there throughout the game. Mael is led to the left to defend the stairs alone, throws a Q onto the Braum and secures it.
Drake being taken.
Ooh, Otters lands on me, meat shield. Big damage coming in by 905. Rangers gets knocked down, Cyclone is being procced. Jungle Shift is spinning on the face of Ramu. He goes all out onto the Cassante. Triple kill overall for Shenzhen. And it's a 3-for-0 in favor of MadMen Freaks, alongside the Dragon secure.
The 3-man baby cage from the Veigar not being enough to stop this fight.
However, it is enough to stop Dungle Jiff there in the tracks. He has to burn the flash in order to escape it. And the Rift Arrow is not even enough to take the turret, unfortunately. But this should mean that this applied pressure could mean a Atakan in favor of MadMen Freaks. Let's see if they are not overstepping here and getting caught in a follow-up engage. The Atakan is burning relatively fast.
With only Beat Shield being here, I don't think it'll happen. As
only another 5 engage. Faithful Gypser is not enough, does not land on Meat Shield.
The head build, but Pulverize not coming through completely as a combo.
Okay, Atakan is secured. MadMen Freaks are escaping scot-free. Mael is caught here by the baby cage. Chicken flips, W flashes out. Should be fine. Pops a ward down. Escapes with his life. Stuff overall by MadMen Freaks. Also, we do see a what seems to be an Iceborne here coming in for Branu on the Cassante. We see that 2 items onto the Veigar, which means they're just gonna like scale even faster and harder now. I do expect a Rabadon's or a Void Staff now, although with the lack of magic resist onto the side of.
We can take a quick look at the gold graph.
What a gold graph! Holy.
As we get another pulse as 905 disconnects.
Lots of issues facing these players today. Does not seem very comfortable for them to be in these conditions. overall impressive gold graph for the MadMen Freaks this game. It's gonna take a lot of mistakes and a lot of fighting back in order for NAO to secure the second game, securing the 2-0 series, but things are not looking up for them right now. Their best hope is a Sivir scaling her way through to 4 items, a Veigar scaling his way to 4 items, just plowing down this team of the MadMen Freaks. But otherwise, I don't see it happening. With proper play, I expect a game secured in 15 minutes tops. Otherwise, this is gonna drag out and ultimately could spell doom for MadMen Freaks.
As we were aware of the stream stuttering a bit. As we The reason for the pause is a sudden disconnect from the mid laner of MadMen Freaks. This is the second pause of the game in total, as they will have to restart soon, as far as I'm aware.
Sorry for the wait, everyone. We've heard news that 905 has recently reconnected, and the match should resume quickly. Expect like 1 or 2 more minutes of delay, and then we probably are going to be able to continue the match. Which, once again, is looking pretty interesting. There's a lot of fighting going on. There is a fizz involved, as we can see. That's partly the reason. But 22 minutes into the game and 19 kills overall is pretty feisty for a more competitive setting. Interesting stuff overall.
As of course, we could in the meantime quickly possibly look up the rulebook for pauses, as we see the in-game reconnect. Cat, I am unaware of that. But from what I saw in chat, yes, now is using their own pause timer for MadMen Freaks. Big shout out. As we are back into the game. From by the looks of it.
Once again, you are gonna see some bumpings. It's really fairly normal when pauses happen, so be patient. But we do see that the game is back.
Nope.
Winter's Bite is thrown, does not connect. Again, we're gonna see some bumping. Expect that. After that, it should be fine, unless there's another pause. Let's hope not. Fingers crossed.
As we are now fully back into the game.
There's not going to be any objective in 3 minutes. Ooh, I'm actually surprised to see that that W clear the wave so easily. May I see where Veigar is allocating his points in spells? Oh, it is tandem maxing onto overall, which is pretty common nowadays ever since the most recent Veigar changes. Although at this point you can probably just fully max the E by level 15 now, and then put the final points into W.
As I do expect this mid lane tower to fall.
Shadow Otters is used, goes wide, Big Bunny shows up from the floor, weirdly enough, chomps nothing. Nothing ever happens.
We do see some fighting. Now will Nizark get the mid lane tower from MadMen Freaks?
Ooh, Shenzhen is caught out of position here. Burns the cleanse, burns the flash, and falls to the primordial burst of Meat Shield. Very bad positioning overall by Shenzhen there. Not having the backup of his team makes it so that... Ooh! 4-man elbow pulverized by Ollie! Too bad that there's no one to follow up. Unbreakable Will is used. The Jungle Diff goes in with a Cyclone. Gets caught by the Braum Ultimate. Uses the second Cyclone and falls to Meat Shield. Unfortunate turn of events for MadMen Freaks overall. Although they still have their 2,000 gold lead, this is not good. This team against a Veigar and a Saber is not allowed to make mistakes like this. And now Shenzhen will not have any summoners for the next fight, for the dragon. Scary stuff. there really isn't there much more to say. Ooh, Winter's Bite there to cancel defeats recall. I wonder what we're gonna see there from 905 next. I don't expect him to have much gold. And I assume he's gonna TP in because there's 15 minutes for that. Ooh, and just a straight up another NLR. I expect that to be perhaps a Valanth then, just looking to absolutely assassinate whichever person gets tagged by the Chum the Otters. Although 905 is walking top lane, which might mean that they're just gonna give this dragon away because they don't have the proper setup, and walking into a Veigar baby cage is not pleasant. Okay, there's an engagement. 905 is not here. The teleport is only coming in now. Cyclone is used. Baby Cage connects onto 905. Has to play full Trickster away. Chum the Waters onto Beyond the Sky. And Chum the Waters secures the kill. Overall, this team... a double kill for 905. Gets the kill onto Drenzer as well. But ultimately, NAO win the fight. The fight was started way too early. 905 was not there when it started, and therefore they just get run over by everyone on the side of NAO. With this, NAO are looking to secure what I believe is their second dragon of the game, which is essentially going to deny overall the MadMen feats of getting a soul very quickly. And things are already not looking well. The gold draft has completely shifted in favor of NAO. Albeit although not for a lot, but Lost in Harmony as 3 items on this Sivir, I expect to see what's now going to be perhaps a more Dominic's Regards, and the Sivir is going to turn everyone into paper shreds, essentially. Oh, Mael is looking to catch mid shield. Perfect executions in. The baby cage stuns. Out, misses the shuriken flip, which should essentially mean that mid shield escapes scot-free. There's an investment of a teleport, but nothing else really happens. Let's see if MadMen Freaks can capitalize on the map. All he misses is the Edward Pulverize combo. But it seems MadMen Freaks are starting the Baron. We see Dungle Jiff and Shenzhen beating it down. There's a teleport going in. Grano. It seems that the Baron is we're gonna stop this Baron attempt. He needs shield with the teleport, then runs in, drops the baby cage. The Baron is stopped, but all he faces his demise. And this also seems like it's gonna be the Baron for NAO. What a turnaround for them if this continues. Uncle Jiff is around and pops the sweeper. He can tell that there's people in. He cannot see them properly. Another one to the wall. There's a... Ooh, the Q3 from Cassante. Shenzhen seems to be safer now. Uses this Buster Shot away forward on the Cassante. The Baron seems to be interrupted fully. Only Meat Shield and Beyond Sky fall, and the Baron is stopped. Excellent fight overall by MadMen Freaks. These fights are going back and forth, but it seems that nothing is being... Oh, the MadMen Freaks are trying once again to secure the Baron. Chum the Otters goes wide onto the Cassante. He is in there trying to catch people. Ooh, Baron pulls people in, and Branos dies, falls to Ollie. 905 is trying to get Lost in Harmony. Lost in Harmony uses his flash, uses his barrier. Immortal Shield is procced. Mael secures the kill onto... Oh no, it was actually the Buster Charge from Shenzhen. And this is the ace in favor of MadMen Freaks. They might be able to secure the Baron now. We see a recall here from 905. Kind of low, he has low mana. He's not be able to contribute much to this Baron takedown. Although Mael uses the shuriken flip in and just starts burning everything down to the Otters. And it's a Baron in favor of MadMen Freaks. Mael reaches level 16. There's a Rabadon's for 905 now. This is going to hit like a truck. But this is impressive stuff overall. And again, as I said, there's a Leon Resistance combo for Mael. They now have also a Seeker's Arm Guard to escape the trickier situations. This game, there's a lot of back and forth, but it's certainly interesting, everyone. Let's see what MadMen Freaks do with this newfound lead and newfound Baron.
As we do apologize for the screen flicker. We are currently not sure where it is coming from, as our feed that we're streaming is clean. So either it is one of the restream servers or it's Twitch itself.
We see some sieging going on here. MadMen Freaks are choosing to employ a 1-3-1 against a Sivir. This is not very good. They can't even they can barely scratch that tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Although Mael is gonna be able to do some damage onto that tier 2 in the top side, as Mitchell walks away. In the meantime, Brano is just here tanking the full front, tanking the wave to guarantee that it does not hit the turret. And none of 5 of us just simply accept this and just stand there on the wave, wait for the next one to arrive, and maybe try to get some trading going on.
As we are getting called out for EU production.
Oh, and that's another dragon in favor of the MadMen Freaks. I believe that's their third, I'm not sure.
It is their second Drake. As far as I can see.
I do believe it's their third because they secured.
I will double check for you.
Yeah, we are lacking an elemental.
It is
dragon
a Cloud Drake, indeed, taken by
exactly.
MadMen Freaks.
Exactly. It's under the Atakan symbol there, I believe.
I see. Yeah, I believe so.
Mael is getting pressured. BK just goes wide. Mael is on the shroud, just chilling. They're here trying to steal the blue buff. And they do it successfully. In the meantime, 905 secures the bot lane tier 1. Walks away. Ramos is here to the waves.
As we do indeed see a shield ball on this Sivir, as called out in chat, and direction from Tibir is correct as well, I believe. Fizz, Akali, scary.
For sure. I mean, Lost in Harmony is essentially their last line of defense in regards of, like, he's the one that's going to deal the DPS, so he needs to do everything that he can to keep himself alive, and I think Shield Roy is a decent option while trying to also stab damage with crit, which Sivir wants. Damage, crit, survivability, that's all that you want. So I think that is wise.
As we
see again
once more
another pause. I am not sure what is causing it this time.
We will
report
check.
From the players.
What belong? It is from the side of
NAO?
NAO. It is from the side of NAO. Fizz now working towards the Void Staff, being 1.6k ahead.
It's going to be particularly good at mowing down that Cassante if the need arises. Oh, yes. Very quickly the pause is resumed.
Yep.
Going to see some stuttering again. To that we preemptively apologize. But it should resume fairly quickly.
It should. Yes. Yes, we are underway again. this being the third boss of this game.
Been a lot of pauses overall. This surely has repercussions on the mindset of the players as well. It's gonna wear them down a lot mentally. Might make them more prone to mistakes. Ooh, we see it. Ooh, the perfect execution is not enough. Mael falls to the primordial burst. 2 ults invested onto Mael, but it is indeed a slain Mael.
As there's not too much on the map to take besides this bot tower. Those are Otters focusing this top tower with the Veigar. Veigar having 316 stacks by now deals a lot of damage to the tower.
That's almost 1,000 AP, so.
Yep.
And we are possibly seeing a Zhonya's there for the Veigar, so it's just gonna be a lot more AP.
I would say triple defensive item this game for the Veigar, including the Merc Rats as well.
Ooh, and a fight breaks out. Well, ooh, there's a lot of things going on. The Cyclone onto the backline of Mana Freaks. Mael gets a perfect execution and strikes down someone. Mitchell is down. 905 gets in. He's on top of Lost in Harmony. Does not fall. The Kassadin uses all out onto the Fizz. 905 is very low. Mael gets to secure the kill onto Branu, and that's a fight in favor of MadMen Freaks. Although there's no Baron anymore, so pushing will be difficult. They are rotating towards the Baron. Shenzin's alive. There is no smite, however, but there's also no way for NAO to contest. So this could mean a second Baron for the MadMen Freaks. And it is indeed. What could potentially be the last elemental dragon of the game has also spawned. We see that MadMen Freaks are rotating towards it. Ocean Soul is, dare I say, particularly efficient on Dungle Jiff, and also Mael with that bruiser build. So this would be very advantageous for MadMen Freaks to obtain. They seem hesitant to start it, although Dungle Jiff does slam it with the pole. Drags it out a little bit. They have a pink one in the brush. Not fit, so it's just plowing it down. That is indeed the soul for MadMen Freaks. We see that 905 is on top lane, so this just essentially means that the bot side is a 4v4. 905 is looking to breach the final tier 2 turret. Ollie drops a combo onto Branu. A bit of fighting going on, but again, this Ocean Soul is going to keep the players on the side of MadMen Freaks stopped constantly.
I believe that was
just a 1v1 shutdown for Mute Shield against 905. I suppose that 905 got caught in a baby cage and just Mute Shield just plows the fish down, just turns him into some sort of sushi. I don't know. We also see that Lost in Army chosen to build a BT, which is even more survivability. Now all that's left is the last crit item, which I expect it to be some sort of a Zeal item. Namely, perhaps a Navori to constantly be using those spells that are very strong on Sivir. As we see, Lost in Harmony here. 38-minute game, 336 CS. Pretty standard Sivir stuff overall. we do see that Shenzhen is full build as well. Like 70 minutes, level 17, 38 minutes into the game, 9 kills, 300 CS, just full build here. Basically just looking to upgrade the boots and keep a pot up at all times. The MadMen Freaks are struggling here to siege this turret, as Sivir is quite impossible to siege against, even as a level 18 Tristana. I fear that this is going to come down to a big Elder Dragon fight, and things might not look pretty if we keep letting this Veigar stack. He has now a Rabadon's and a Zhonya's. That's a lot of AP. He probably has a lot of stacks. That's over 1,000 AP. 1,080 AP.
340 stacks. Yeah. As the top tower does fall for nice arc color.
The finally tier 2 turret falls. They once again try to siege turret, and now without Baron, it's going to be very difficult. Sivir is going to press 2 buttons until it's gone. Although there's an exposure shot on the turret, there's a small engage by Mael, they're trying to disrupt. The use perfect is usually get out. Mid-shield is got, Cyclone, and just slain by 905. There's a big Braum ultimate on him. Sivir is plowing damage, 905 throws himself in, gets ulted by the Vi. He's able to Zhonya's and get out. Playable Strix is in, Dranzard is dead. Lost in Armor, he's full HP and just beating people up. Shenzhen also throws himself in. The Explosion Farm should kill the Vi. The Vi is down. And now the MadMen Freaks are free to just plow these mid and bot waves. Mid and bot turrets. Explosive Charge takes down the turret in the mid lane. The inhibitor is also getting thrown down. With only Browno and Lost in Harmony left to defend, they should be able to just get the inhibs and probably walk away. They are choosing not to fight to try and end the game, as both Meat Shield and Dranzar are very close to spawning. And in 1 minute, both the Baron and the Elder Dragon will be up. Let's see what is achieved by the players in regards to items. Let's see. Shenzhen does in fact not forget to upgrade his boots, and should have now a permanently Elixir of Wrath on his pocket. Ooh, he chose to keep a Guardian Angel in favor of this BT. An interesting decision. Perhaps the Elixir of Wrath, he finds the Elixir of Wrath enough sustain to just fight it out. It did not seem to be in much danger throughout these fights, so let's see if this decision does not bite them in the end.
Also, after this game, we might have a quick stream restart in hopes to try to fix the issue we are having with the stuttering camera. As mentioned before, we are not 100% sure what it's causing.
He's got stuns, uses Unbreakable Will, pulverizes. Ooh, Dungle Jiff is also secured. There's a big fight going on. 905 is in danger, he gets stunned, flashes over the wall. There's a Cyclone. Mael slays Lost in Harmony. I mean, Mitchell is also slain. Mael gets a double kill. Shenzhen is all outed by the Cassante, but ultimately escapes. And this should be the clean ace. This fight started with Ollie getting almost dying, and because of Ocean Soul, is already full HP once again. Ocean Soul, everyone. But yeah, this is game 2 favors MadMen Freaks. In a pretty, again, another very big back and forth. But this is game 2 for MadMen Freaks. Once again, as my here, we'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
Yeah, we will be restarting the stream 1 moment.